ZAZ-965, commonly known as the Eth degrees Eth inverted question mark Eth 3/4 and tilde Eth 3/4 Eth Pilcro Eth micro and tilde or Zaporožets, holds a special place in the history of the Soviet automotive industry. Produced between 1960 and 1969 at the Zaporozhye automobile plant in Ukraine, this small, quirky car became both a symbol of accessibility and a subject of humor. Despite its unusual looks and modest performance, the ZAZ-965 represented a step toward giving ordinary Soviet citizens the chance to own a personal vehicle at a time when private cars were still a rarity in the USSR. The ZAZ-965 was designed during a period when the Soviet Union wanted to expand car ownership to a wider population. At the time, cars such as the GAZ-21 Volga or Moskvich were too expensive and targeted mostly at officials or middle-class professionals. What the USSR needed was an inexpensive, compact, and simple automobile, similar in spirit to the Volkswagen Beetle in Germany or the Fiat 500 in Italy. The ZAZ-965 was the answer to this demand. It was designed to be affordable, easy to repair, and capable of handling the rough road conditions found across the Soviet Union. The design of the ZAZ-965 was heavily influenced by the Fiat 600, which was a popular European small car of the 1950s. The resemblance is clear, though the Soviet engineers made several changes to adapt it for local use. Unlike many cars of the time, the ZAZ-965 had an air-cooled engine, mounted at the rear of the vehicle. This engine was a small V4 with a displacement of 746 cubic centimeters, producing about 23 horsepower. While the power output was minimal, it was sufficient for the lightweight car, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 75 km per hour. Later versions, such as the 965A, received a slightly larger engine with more power, improving performance modestly. One of the unique features of the ZAZ-965 was its simplicity. The car was designed to be easy to maintain, and spare parts were relatively inexpensive. This meant that owners could often repair their vehicles themselves, a valuable feature in an era when professional service stations were not widely available. The ZAZ-965 had a reputation for being tough and reliable under difficult conditions, although its small size and modest engine power made it more suitable for city driving than long-distance travel. Visually, the ZAZ-965 stood out for its compact, rounded body with a distinctive hunchback shape. Many nicknames were given to it by the public, the most famous being Eth cubed Eth 3/4 and tilde Eth plus minus Eth degrees and tilde Eth superscript 1, hunchback. Some compared it to a soap bar on wheels, while others affectionately called it Zaporožec. Its small size made it maneuverable in narrow streets and easy to park, although passengers often complained about the cramped interior space. Inside, the car was basic but functional. The dashboard was minimal, and there was little in the way of comfort or luxury. Still, for many Soviet families, owning a ZAZ-965 was a dream come true. It offered them a new kind of freedom, allowing travel beyond their local neighborhood and symbolizing personal progress in a society where car ownership itself was a significant achievement. The ZAZ-965 also had a role in Soviet culture. It appeared in movies, jokes, and satirical stories, often as a symbol of modesty or even absurdity. Some people mocked the car for being slow and underpowered, while others embraced it as a proud representation of Soviet engineering that brought mobility to ordinary workers. Despite the mixed opinions, the car left a lasting impression on generations of people. Over the years, the ZAZ-965 underwent several improvements. The later model, the ZAZ-965A, featured a slightly larger engine of 887 cubic centimeters, which produced about 27 horsepower. This made it a bit more practical for longer trips and improved reliability. Other updates included minor design changes and improvements to the suspension. Despite these upgrades, The car never achieved high performance, but it fulfilled its intended role as a budget-friendly people's car. Production of the ZAZ-965 ended in 1969, when it was replaced by the ZAZ-966, a slightly larger and more modern successor. However, the original 965 remained popular among collectors and car enthusiasts, who admire it today for its historical significance and unique charm. While it was never a high-status vehicle, it represented an important step in making cars more widely available in the Soviet Union. Today, surviving examples of the ZAZ-965 are cherished by collectors, particularly in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet states. Restored models often appear at classic car shows, and their quirky appearance always attracts attention. The car's cultural impact continues to live on, not only as a nostalgic reminder of the Soviet era but also as an example of how cars can play an important role in shaping everyday life. In summary, the ZAZ-965 was more than just a small car. It was a symbol of hope, progress, and accessibility during a time when personal vehicles were beyond the reach of most Soviet citizens. Despite its modest performance and the jokes made at its expense, it remains a significant chapter in automotive history. The ZAZ-965 F degrees F inverted question mark F3/4 N tilde F3/4 F Pilcro F micro N tilde showed that even a simple, inexpensive car could leave a powerful legacy, one that continues to be remembered and celebrated decades after its production ended.